I'm live at 5. Just kidding. It's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are just tuning in for the first time, I talk about car buying and a little bit about my 2018 Challenger Hellcat. So to kick off the month, I'm just going to start out with the new rates and residuals for Chrysler Capital, because I know that's what a lot of people check out my channel for. And I figured it'd be good to just do a weekly update, or basically whenever they come out, of the new residuals and money factors, and possibly rebates and things like that, depending on the area of all the new cars. So I'll kind of wait for some people to get in here, and we'll get started. And of course, if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment. If it's live, you can catch me and ask me about a particular vehicle, and I can look it up for you. So hopefully you guys can hear me. And I'm going to do kind of like a little intermission here while I check. I can only assume. But if anybody's in here, yeah, go ahead and just shoot me a comment and say what's up. I've got my ghetto set up with my if y'all have heard of those hue lights that you can like change the color and like dim and stuff. I've got it like facing right at me, and I just kind of dim the light, so it's not doing too bad. What up? Can you hear me? What's up, Brian? I hope I just haven't been talking to myself for the last minute and 45 seconds. Well, all right, cool. Good. All right, let's adjust this. All right, cool. So anyway, for the subscribers of mine out there, which I'm sure you are, I just want to thank everybody for supporting me and checking out my videos. It really sucks what happened about my camera stuff. I never leave my car unlocked, and it was just unfortunate that it just happened all at the same time. They just happened to me going up and down the neighborhood when I forgot that my car was unlocked. But I now have an alarm that automatically locks itself and arms itself 30 seconds after I leave the vehicle. So it'll never happen again. At least if they're going to take something this time, they're going to be breaking some windows. I know that sounds bad, right? But it doesn't really happen like that around here. 95% of the things that I see are all just checking for unlocked doors. So that won't happen again. I'm trying to work on the insurance claim right now and get my stuff back. So I did go ahead and just buy some stuff. That's what credit cards are for, I guess. But I use my cameras daily for my job and for you guys. So I wanted to hurry up and get back on track with that stuff. So I knew my insurance would come through. Just go ahead and buy the stuff. So anyway, there's a few people out there, by the way, that did donate. So I do really appreciate that. That means so much to me. Anything helps at this time of year. Some people might say, oh, he drives a Hellcat, what the heck? But again, if you saw my videos, I only pay $500 a month for it. So I'm definitely far from rich. Anyway, on to the residuals and rates. If you guys have any questions, obviously just, I don't know where it is for you guys, leave a comment, and you can talk to me directly. So anyway, I'm going to pull up for you guys that are looking to lease things. These are the first numbers that have come out for leasing. I'm actually going to move this over to my other monitor. Give me just a second. There we go. So I can look right there. So you can see my pretty face better. Okay. So it looks like on a lot of the main vehicles like the Challengers and the Chargers, they're still only doing the 39-month incentivized rates for 39 months. So it's not 36 months. That's just the standard rate right now. So you're not going to get a good lease price for 36 months. So if anybody comes back with, oh, well, we'll give it to you for 39 months, they're actually legit. That's where the rates are incentivized. So it looks like for a 2019 Challenger Hellcat, The 39-month money factor is 0.00018. That's pretty good. Again, anything with 3 zeros after it's, pretty good. And then the 39 15,000 mile residual is 53%. So keep in mind that if you're going to have a 12,000 mile lease, then it's going to get bumped by 2%. So instead of 53%, it'll be 55%. And then, if you have a 10,000 mile lease, you get 3% bump. So it goes from 53 to 56%. So keep that in mind. There is an acquisition fee of $595. Let me make sure it's not on the 39. No, on those, it is on every single vehicle. So let me take that back. It's on every single month. Every other Challenger does not have an acquisition fee. So keep that in mind. What up, Hellboy? I am a Hellboy. Is it the hair? Yeah, the Rams usually do. I'll go over that since you're on here with me. All right. So yeah, every other Challenger, the Scat Packs, I'll do that. The Scat Packs, unfortunately, they're not that great again this month. So let me look at the chat. Yeah. So, all right. So the Challenger is 0.00192. That's only 2 zeros. I would not do a Scat Pack this month so far. Now they change this stuff sometimes they change it every week. Sometimes they change it only once. So don't lose faith, but it's 0.00192. So if you're not getting great Scat Pack lease quotes, that's why. There's no acquisition fee, and the residual on 39 months is 57%. So the residual is good. It's not to say that it's not possible to get a decent payment, but I just wouldn't do it. So 57%. And of course, if it's a 12,000, it's be 59. If it's a 10,000, right at 60%. That's actually pretty high, but that money factor is going to kill it. 0.00192. That's high. All right. So if we move on to the Charger, this is 2019 stuff. The Hellcat is 0.00014. So that's good. That's a good rate. Again, 39 months. And the residual is 55%. There is an acquisition fee of $595. So again, remember the 2% bump for 12K and the 3% bump total for 10K. So every residual that I mentioned always starts at 15,000. Keep that in mind. The Scat Pack Charger is 0.00103, which is I think the exact same thing from last month, if I'm not mistaken. So not a great month for Scat Pack Charger, at least. Well, heck, at least the Challenger's 57% residual. The Charger's only 51%. So I wouldn't bother with one this month unless they change it later. So let me skip down to the Rams. Hey, Brian, what Ram were you thinking about? I need trim, box size, 4x4, 2-wheel drive, all that good stuff. And then I can look, because I know it'd be kind of a blanket statement to just say something. There's so many different trucks. You got Bighorn, Laramie, Limited, Tradesman, even the Rebel. Give me an idea about what you're looking for, and then I'll take a look. Longhorn 5.7 short box. Yeah. All right. So is it 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive? I'll take a look and see if that even matters. 4-wheel drive Longhorn 2019, I'm assuming. I would hope so. 2018s probably don't have residual or incentivized numbers anymore. 4-wheel drive Longhorn crew cab, I'm assuming. It's probably the only one they make in the Longhorn. Yeah. All right. So it looks like 36 months. It's kind of Scat Pack-ish. Really, it's 0.00109. So it's not great, but it's not terrible either. It's just kind of right in the middle. you know, for example, a Bighorn is 0.00002. So it's like, you know, that's really good. Whereas 0.00109 is not, you know, it's not that great. So residual is 50%, you know, it's kind of average. Bighorn is 54%. Matter of fact, like almost half the other trucks are 54%. So again, it's a Longhorn, so they just must not want to lease them right now. Yeah, the Laramies are actually pretty good. They always lease out pretty good. Like if you got a Laramie 4x4 crew cab short box right now, it's 0.00065, which is pretty good. And then 54% residual. So you can probably lease something pretty darn good with those numbers. And there is no acquisition fee on the short box. So yeah, you know, it's funny how they do this stuff. So there's no acquisition fee on the short box, but there is an acquisition fee on the quad cab. So anyway, yeah, as long as you're getting a crew cab short box, 0.00065. This is a 36-month term, by the way. And then the residual is 54%. So, of course, keep in mind the 2% bump for 12,000 miles and the 3% for 10,000. And again, no residual. I'm in a lease with 9 payments left, but I only have 13,000 miles, which might be longer. Well, that just really comes down to the deal you got right now. If you're currently in a lease, you just have to look at, you know, what your trade's worth and what your payoff is. So I don't know if you've looked at that yet, but you know, your payoff is not just the remaining payments. It can be close sometimes, but whoever your lease is through, which, I mean, if it's a, I don't know if it's a Ram, I guess. Well, I know you didn't mention that, but depending on what you're in, you just got to call the bank and see what your payoff is, and then see what your car is worth. And then if it's close enough to what it's worth, just like a buy, I mean, you could just, if it find a dealer that wants to buy it, they can just buy it out. Yeah, I mean, so if you want to, you can just, I might be able to look that up for you. If you shoot me your, either your VIN number, maybe via email, or your social or something like that, I could probably look that up for you. And then we can just find out how close you are. And then if you're close and you find a dealer that wants to just buy it out, then you can just trade it in now if you want to, because you'll break even. You know, sometimes if you haven't used the mileage and things like that, that's, you know, you might actually come out good. You might have a little bit of equity. That all depends on that mileage and the deal that you got when you sign the lease. So that's the only way to find out if you really should do it now or wait. All right, so I don't have any questions there. I'm going to move on to the 2018s and see if they got something going on. 2018 Chargers, looks like they're still doing the 39-month thing too. Scat packs, they finally went down. Well, no, gosh, was they? I have to go back and look. But anyway, I think they went down. I think they were both kind of cruddy. I can't remember. This is 0.00087, so that's pretty decent. And the residual dropped. That looks like it's pretty low. So it's 47%. So that'd be tough. I mean, if you do a 10,000 mile lease, there's no acquisition fee. You know, you get it for 50%. Oh, I'm sorry, 46%, because we're doing a 39-month term. So that's pretty low. That residual is pretty low. I don't think that would lease too good. The Hellcats are 0.00018, so I think that's the same. And the residual is still 59%, which that gets into the 60s with a low mileage lease. That's like mine when I leased mine. And there is a acquisition fee of $595. So you can still get a 2018 Charger Hellcat for a pretty darn good lease right now. The SRT 392 Charger, if you ever find one of those left, it's got good numbers, 0.00013 and 55% residual. And the Scat Packs, just told you that one. As far as the Challenger Hellcat wide body, they still have them separated. Okay, so the wide body actually has a pretty decent number on it now. So a 2018 Hellcat wide body has a 0.00011 money factor and a 55% residual. So that's actually not bad. The Hellcat regular non-wide body Challenger, it looks the same, except the residual is actually higher. It's 59%. So I think it's the same as the Charger was. So yeah, you can still get a 2018 wide body or a regular Hellcat for a pretty good deal right now. Scat Pack is 0.00171. Not the greatest. The residual is 52%, so that's not terrible. That you just might have to find a decent deal. Just work with the payment, do no money down and see if the payment's decent. All right. Well, I think I hit all the main ones. And of course, if there's something I missed, just let me know, or if you want to know about something else. But did you guys see the new Jeep Gladiator that's coming out? So finally, everybody wanted that Jeep pickup, and now they're releasing it. So it seems pretty beastly. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I don't do the whole Wrangler thing, but if I did and I wanted a pickup, well, then that's what you get. There's nothing else out there. Out of everything, I think what surprised me the most is the towing rating. For them to get as much as a full-size half-ton pickup truck out of the same engine, that's pretty damn impressive. I think it was like 7,200 pounds or 7,300 pounds of towing on that little body. So that was pretty impressive to me. I know they had to open up the air vents in the front for more cooling. A couple little neat features. Now they have a front camera it's like a trail cam, even though they've got front cameras on stuff for parking, but they say this one is for trail, navigating the trail, which is cool. If you're out there rock climbing and stuff like that, you want to see where the rocks are. Usually you're hanging out the window. Well, now you can just hit the button on the screen and can see all the rocks in front of you. So that's cool. It's even got a washer nozzle. Bet you didn't know that one. It's the Pentastar. It's just the V6 to start out with, and of course the A8 transmission. But they are adding the diesel, the Eco Diesel. So I think once the diesel comes out, what is it, like 445 foot-pounds of torque? It's going to be a monster. So I wonder what the tow rating is going to be on that, because I know when you get that in the truck, it's almost 10,000 pounds. So it'd be crazy to have a little Jeep Wrangler truck towing 10,000 pounds. I mean, it'd just be nuts. When will be the best time to look for a 2019 Challenger Hellcat for the numbers you're talking about this evening? Well, the 2019 Challenger Hellcat, I kind of have to go back to that one. I can't remember now if that was good or not. 2019 SRT Hellcat. Yeah, they've got pretty decent numbers right now. They don't really fluctuate too much throughout the month. So it being a 0.00018 and a 53% residual, for a new, like 2019, that's actually pretty good. So if you're wanting a 19, I wouldn't really wait, like too much on that one. So, go out and find you a deal. It's going to be hard to really negotiate a ton of off the price because it's a brand new vehicle. But those numbers are legit, 0.00018 and a 53% residual. That's, nothing wrong with that. That's pretty good. I think the biggest thing that's going to separate it from, a 2018 is that residual. As I mentioned, they were closer. They can get into the 60s with a low mileage lease, where the max you're going to do here is 56%. So those little percents make a big difference. But again, they are lumping the wide bodies and the Hellcats, regular Hellcats now, into the Hellcat for the new model year on residuals, so that makes sense. So on the 2018s, they separated them. It was 2018 wide body had a separate number, and then the 2018 regular Hellcat had a separate number. Well, now you can get a wide body and a regular Hellcat for those numbers. So especially especially if you're looking for a wide body Hellcat. That's actually pretty darn good numbers for a 2019. You got to keep in mind, this is a 2019. They just hit the ground, you know, in the last couple months. So those are pretty good numbers to lease a brand new car. I wouldn't wait. Just go find you one. And, you know, again, I appreciate you guys' patience with me. I try really hard to make a video during the week, and it just doesn't happen. And I had the whole weekend off, but with the family and just trying to get things straightened out, and it's tough because the minute I basically have to lock myself in my room if I just even want to do something like this, with my toddler running in and wanting to, you know, she's wanting to play with me and stuff like that. And I hate to have her crying because I'm trying to walk away from her to do a video. So doing things like this, you know, is a little bit easier for me because she's in bed right now. But I do want to make another actual produced video soon with the new equipment. And I do have some vinyl that I'm going to be doing on the car pretty soon. So I want to do another video on the Hellcat, and I'm probably going to be ordering the Easy Lip that I had on my Scat Pack for the front and the side skirts. And I'll probably be grabbing some rock guards as well. Now that I have the 305s on there, they do stick out quite a bit on the non-wide body. So it's like I'm trying to protect it from rock chips, right? But anyway, they look kind of cool too. And they've got the little, I don't know if you want to call it a canard, but the little, I've already got the diffuser in the back. And then if I have the rock guards, they've got that little, almost like a little mini ground effect that sticks out the back of the bumper that takes up that gap between the rock guard and the diffuser. So I'll probably get all that stuff. So I'll kind of almost have like a full body kit on it, and with the vinyl. So make it stand out a little bit, make it mine. So I'll be doing that pretty soon. It's been a year now. What are you talking about? It's been a year, Jay. If you can't tell, I like Mass Effect. Does anybody play video games on there? I got my Mass Effect cup. I'm actually wearing my Mass Effect shirt, and I've got my, I got to get used to this. I'm not a cool YouTuber yet. Mass Effect posters in the background there. It's been screwing you over for a year. Oh, well, I don't know too much about that, but you can email me about that if you want. I'll type my email in here for you guys. But also, Brian, you can email me there, and we'll see if I can check out your lease. Does it look good? Cool. Does it say 1080p? Does it actually show 1080p? Because it was saying something to where it only did 720p. I got the box right here. It's like the Logitech. Well, thought I had it. Seriously, like the cheapest Logitech camera on Amazon. C9 230 or something like that. It's like $50. But oh, that's cool. Sweet. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the video, but I do have some lighting to help the effect as well. I wonder if it'll screw up my camera if I try to do this. C920, yeah. It's just a Logitech C920. Like I said, I think it was $50 on Amazon, had the highest ratings, so I went ahead and grabbed that. Oh, where'd my stuff go? All right. I don't really want to get too much into rebates unless you guys have a zip code for me. I can verify those, but a lot of that you can do on Dodge.com because the rebates are like regional. So if I type in something for my area code, it might be different from your area code. And to be quite honest, these residuals and things like that might be regional, but it seems from what I've compared things on like forums and stuff like that, it seems like it's relatively the same. So even though it says Southeast, I'm pretty sure all these residuals are pretty close to the same all across the country. So now, Miguel, you just gave me a zip code. Did you need anything in particular? Sorry. Oops. Might have hit that. You guys can't hear the fish tank in the background, can you? I know it makes bubbly noises, but this mic's pretty good, so I don't think you should hear the bubblies. Alrighty. Let's see here. And again, thanks for watching, guys. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that for me and leave a like. Emailing me now. Okay, cool. You can hear 0.00011% on the background. I know, right? After I was doing those numbers for a while, I was like, I just lost all my subscribers right now. But, you know, that's what, if you're listening, this is what you want to listen for. So if you don't, then you don't. Yeah, I mean, you know, about when's the best time to lease. I can't be a good judge of that right now, only because I haven't really studied them for that long. But I will tell you a little, I guess, a little research I did on my own when I was looking to lease. Well, I was going to lease a Durango, but we ended up getting a Pacifica. I actually looked back through the last 3 years of all the months of the residuals and rebates and money factors of the Durango. And, you know, I figure it would go along with pretty much everything else. And it seemed like near the end of the year, sometimes going into January and February was like the best time to get the rates. So right now is a pretty decent time to do that. Also, when the new models are about to hit the ground, it seemed like right around that, because that's the thing that's hard to tell is like, you know, when they're going to release the new model and when they release the old model. Sometimes they release the 2019 in March of 2018. Well, normally it's, you know, near the end, kind of towards the end of the year, end of summer, that kind of thing. So basically before the new models hit the ground, that's usually a good time to lease. The best thing to do is, you know, do your research, you know, kind of like what I'm doing here, helping you guys know what the residuals are. So, you know, what a decent deal is when it comes up. And you might have to just wait and be patient. You know, I got lucky. I didn't have to wait that long. I knew it was a good deal and I put out some feelers and it happened within, you know, a month. But to find a good deal on a certain car, sometimes you just might have to wait for the right time, you know, and not rush it. That's probably gonna be the hardest thing. So I'd say, you know, like I said, the numbers didn't look fantastic on the Longhorn. You know, the Laramies are good. Maybe just wait a little bit. You know, if it's not good, just wait. You know, that's the best. It can only really get better. I mean, if it gets worse, well, that's pretty bad. But usually it'll get better. So, you know, right around this time is usually good. I'd say anywhere from really, I guess, the winter season. It seems like it's probably the good time to buy. All right. Well, it's approaching 10 o'clock. Is there anything else that you guys need from me? Because I think I might just shut it down here. And I think I went over the Charger and the Challenger and some trucks. Yeah, for a Charger Scat Pack. Okay. Let's see. I think I did one of those earlier today. Oh, what would I do with them? Give me just a second. I'll look that up for you. Dang, you're asking a lot. Sure, if you where's my donate button? The little money down there, and I'll respond to your thing. I'm just messing around. Yeah, let me check this out real quick for him, and I'll see what you got in your email. What's up, Edgar? All right, so we got a Dodge. I'm assuming 2019. I know you just said Charger Scat Pack, Miguel, but I'm going to assume a 2019 Scat Pack 3193. Yeah, 19. Okay, not a whole lot. I can tell you that. That's for sure. They have not had very many rebates. Is it a lease? For a lease or a buy? Okay, we got big finish. Bonus cash going on. Lease. Okay. I honestly think it's less now for a lease. Usually the rebates are more for leasing. But on these Chargers, these new Chargers, it seems like it's not a whole lot. $250 for Southeast lease cash. Where is that zip code? 33193. That's in Florida somewhere, isn't it? Shoot, that's probably pretty close to me. Miami. Oh, you better be buying your car from me, son. Yeah, it looks like 250. Affiliate. Yeah, you're gonna have the same rebates as me because you're a couple hours away. So yeah, I think right now on a lease it's just 250. If we get a VIN in there, it might be able to bring up something else like big finish cash maybe, but there's not a whole lot. Miguel, you end up needing a car, hit me up, man. I can make sure you get a good deal. I just had somebody come down from Jacksonville to the middle of the state to buy a car from me from the channel. So that was cool. Thank you. I won't mention names, but anyway, it can be done. If you give me a good deal, man, everybody gets a good deal from Luke the Duke. The good thing is, man, all those Miami dealers are shady as heck, man. You never know what you're going to get, and you don't know anything of what you're going to get until you're there, and they wear you down for hours and hours and hours. You know, I can just sell you something that invoice and give you all the rebates, and you know, just a straight clean cut deal. Okay, so we got there that. On a lease, do I pay full taxes or just taxes for the lease purchase in Texas? See, now here's the problem with my dealership, unfortunately, is we don't sell to people outside of Florida. So I don't know if you're asking if you were to buy from me, if you just pay taxes, how that would work depending on the state. I think Texas is reciprocal, so it would just be the taxes from where you are is usually how that works. But leasing to people out of state gets really complicated. You have to have tax reciprocity, and we have to have a dealer license in that state, and then it gets really complicated, and that's why they just don't do it. I'm not saying the dealers don't do it, because they do, but they have to be like big dealers with volume, and you got to have the like program in your computer to do it, and each state costs like $400. So you know, we're a pretty small town dealership, and they just, you know, obviously we don't get a ton of business from people all over the country. Of course, this is what I'm trying to do, is, you know, maybe get us a little bit more business, but unfortunately I can't lease to people outside of the state right now. I can sell to people like buying something outside the state, but leasing, it's a lot more complicated. So hopefully that answered your question. Lewis, a Charger Hellcat. I don't know if I missed another message from you, but what exactly were you wanting to know? What do you want to know about a lease? Oh man, you're in Miami too. That's great. I'm in Avon Park. If you didn't know that, this is, I mean, I'm probably about 2.5 hours from Miami, north of Miami. That big lake in the middle of Florida, I'm just west of it. So I'm just like right in the middle of the state. Live here in Maine. I'm sorry. All right. So in order, I'm going to try to do this. Lewis, I know you said Challenger Hellcat on a lease, but what do you want to know? A good down payment for a lease. Well, a good down payment is no down payment. You know, I know on my videos, I cut my, my equity in half just because I wanted a lower payment. That's all down payments do on a lease, is just lower your payment. It doesn't really help in any other way. So here's the thing about doing down payments on leases. If you haven't seen my other videos, if you do a down payment on a lease, if anything happens to the lease, like let's say your car was stolen or totaled, most of them come with gap insurance included. Like Chrysler Capital all has gap, so the car is taken care of, but they don't take care of your down payment. So any money that you put down, it's gone. Now, of course, that's, you know, it's a rare situation, but it's kind of like a little bit of an insurance thing. You just got to keep in the back of your mind. If you're putting $5 grand down, if something happens to the car, your $5 grand's gone, you know, and then you're basically stuck without a car because they just wipe the rest of the loan out. They don't give you money to replace your car like buying it. So keep that in mind when you're putting money down. Usually what you want to try to do is, if anything, maybe just do the startups, which is usually the first month, taxes and fees and any kind of acquisition fee. So it's usually between like $1,500 and $2,000, unless you want to keep your payment lower. Like that's like your 100% goal. You're willing to take the risk, like I was. I just want a low payment. So that's the only reason, like what you would put money down. I really wouldn't probably put more than like $3 grand down. That's just me. I mean, unless you're getting a Trackhawk and you're still gonna be paying over $1,000 a month and you need to put like 10 grand down. That's totally up to you again. But, you know, if you can do it, see, I didn't have the, I won't go into what I didn't have, but it's like, I didn't have the self, control to put the down payment aside somewhere and just kind of keep it in an account, like a separate bank account or something, and have the higher payment per month. And then if you really needed some extra money, then pull from that account. Like that's the only other way to do it, unless you know, just don't care and you got a bunch of money. Dude, Jeff, what'd you miss? You missed 38 minutes of awesomeness, dude. That's what you missed. Okay, so at least let me see what I got down here. You think this is the time of the year to get a good one? Do they have any specials? Yes, I don't know if you missed my thing earlier, but yeah, 2019 Hellcat right now is leasing pretty darn good. So I would say if you want to grab one, you can hit me up. My email's up in the chat a little bit. Hit me up and I'll look around for one for you, and we can see if there's one out there right now, and I can get your price on one. But yeah, this is a good time. Anytime during the winter seems to be a good time to get the leases. I mean, specials on leases, really the only specials you're going to get, if there's any, you know, rebates that are special out there, or incentivized lease numbers, which there usually always is. All right, so I'm going to scroll up here now because I've actually talked too long. All right, so okay, anybody? Yes, Brian, thanks. I will be doing these videos more. Yeah, I'm going to try to do at least one of these live videos every week. That way, you know, you guys can hit me up with questions and I can look things up for you on the spot and go over any changed residuals. That's going to be the main thing. So what I'm really trying to do is do one of these live videos a week and then one produced video a week. So, but again, that's been pretty hard with the life so far. But if anything, I'm going to do one of these live videos because I can do them once the kids go to bed. Okay. Jay, thoughts on a Jeep pickup? Yes, it is a thing. So I don't know if you missed the reveal, but they just revealed it like last week. So no, it is coming out. Just look it up, Jeep Gladiator. It's totally a thing. Okay, rebates any good for the Ram? I believe you remain. The new Ram, no. I mean, there's not. They haven't really come out with a whole bunch of rebates on the Ram, so I wouldn't really say they're good yet. Like the 2018, some of them with discounts and rebates, you can get like 10 grand off of a 2018 right now, but 2019s aren't fantastic. No, Edgar, you only pay the taxes on not the residual, but the amount that you're leasing. Unless you decide to buy the car at the end, then you get hit with the taxes on the rest of the residual. Yeah, it's a good year. To your best knowledge, Masail, to your best knowledge, when is it usually the best time during a year to get a good deal on a lease? All right, so I talked about that earlier. In general, from my experience, it just looks like the winter time is a good time for numbers, because that's right before the new models come out, and the end of the year, which dealers are trying to get their numbers. And then I don't know, it just seems like January and February just tend to kind of like go along with that, and they tend to have pretty good lease numbers. So anytime during the winter seems to be a good time, or before the new models come out and you get the old model. That's where you get the really good deals like I did. Okay, so when you hear dealerships, MK6 guy, let's see. So when you hear dealerships say $399 a month for 36 months lease with $299 down, is the down payment mandatory for the $399 payment if your credit score is really good? Yes. It's mandatory to even come close to that $399 payment. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people skip. They see the big $219 a month for this lease, and then they miss the whole part of $4,000 down, and it's on like the most base model of the base model. And it's unfortunate that that's the that's what I have to deal with every day, and that's kind of why I'm doing this whole channel, is promoting myself as just kind of like a straightforward dealership, straightforward sales guy, and just trying to help everybody out, just get fair deals, because I deal with that on a daily basis. I have to fight other dealers and other shady tricks and say, well, look, ours might look like it's more maybe, or something like that, but when you get down to it and you actually spend all day at this other dealership, come to find out that we're actually a couple $100 cheaper when it's all said and done, because they've got $1,500 of dealer fees. They didn't really tell you the right price and all that stuff. So yes, that is mandatory to get that payment and good credit. And you got to make sure you're on the right vehicle with like no ads. Usually that's how that happens. What are they going for? A new Hellcat lease. I can't just blip off a number off the top of my head, because, we got to find what Hellcat, how many options, what's the price of it, all that kind of stuff. But they are pretty decent. And you know what? Come to think of it, I know you weren't here for the beginning of the video, so let me go back. I think the Chargers finally went to a decent number for you. No, they didn't. Just kidding. Sorry. It looks like they stayed the same. I know we've been trying to get that, but that scat pack is still 0.00103, so it's not really fantastic right now. Sorry, bud. Brian will probably be looking to buy a 3500 Longhorn Doodly next year around this time. What does that look like right now, and would it be similar next year? Okay, well, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not trying to be a dick, but the thing about leasing is, like, you have no idea. We can only kind of guess at what they're going to do. It's whatever prerogative Chrysler Capital has. They have complete control of this deal. When you look at it at the grand scheme of things, they put out the rebates. They manufactured the car. They set the price. They finance it. They set the residual value, and they set the money factor. They literally control every single aspect of selling you that car. We're just the guy that tries to make a couple $100 on it and make a living. So we really don't know what they're going to do. If the market tanks, that's going to have an effect on it. Car sales are up. They might try to bump it up to, get a little bit of extra in there, you know. So it's really hard to just predict any kind of leasing. I can only go by track records, and that's usually seems like the winter time or before the new models come out. If you're buying one of the older models, it seems like that's about when the right time to buy them is. And to check on the dually right now, I'd have to honestly look it up. You know, heavy duties get weird with leasing because they tend to consider some of them commercial vehicles. So they might have a totally different lease when you get into heavy duties. You might actually have to do it under like a business lease, and that can get a little bit complicated. I'm scrolling down right now because I think that's actually the case. I think they only incentivize 1500s. Nope, there's 2500. Oh, duh, because there's only, they didn't come out with the 3500s and 2500s yet for 2019. So right now, it looks like they've already gotten rid of all of the incentives on the 2018s. So it is not a good idea to lease a 2018 heavy duty right now. There's 0 incentives. Edgar says 2018 wide body Hellcat, money factor 00011, residual value 50%, 39 months or better at 36 months. Thanks for answering the questions. 78,000. I'm not sure if you want me to try to like figure out a lease right now, but I'm not going to do that on the live videos because that actually takes a lot of time to do that. But from what you're telling me, if that's the numbers you got from somebody, those numbers are good. 0.00011 and a residual value of 58%. You know, those are good numbers. So as long as they sell you the vehicle, okay. So 78 MSRP and 74K selling, you know, that just seems like a fair deal. You know, it's not earth shattering, and you're not getting ripped off. So I think if you like the car, that you would not be in the wrong to buy it with those numbers. Say, the residuals and money factors number at the side of the residuals and money factor number sat at the beginning of the video. Were those for 2018 or 2019? I did both. So you just might have to wait and go back and listen to it. But I did both. I did both 2018 and 2019 residuals. You're welcome. You're welcome. Probably not, Jeff, but I'll look for you real quick since there's still some people hanging out. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I feel like I need to like, you know, turn on some music and we just kind of like hang out. I feel like I missed you guys because I haven't been doing too many videos. All right. So Cherokee SRT. Yeah, Grand Cherokee. Hang on. Usually they do not lease good at all. Jeep Grand Cherokee. SRT. Okay, so they are doing a 39-month. The money factor is good, actually. It's 4 zeros, 0.00006, and the residual's 45%. So that's what's going to kill you because it's so much money. When that residual is not there, that means you're eating up a lot more of that depreciation. So now that's going to be thousands. Probably $1,100 a month on one of those things. Of course, I'm talking about a Trackhawk, which there's 0 in. No incentives on the 2018 Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. But we were just talking about the 392. Those were the numbers I just gave you. You just need to stick with your 392 Charger that I ordered you, man. Oh, Grand Cherokee, 9 miles an hour. Yeah. Did the red eye get released? Yes. There are red eyes released. We actually have one on the way to our dealership, and I'm going to do a video on that. Funny thing, that was ordered for a YouTube / customer I found on a forum, and he actually backed out and got a Corvette. And then came in and said he couldn't get in and out of the Corvette and wanted the Challenger, but we wouldn't give him enough for his trade with, I mean, it's a brand new, don't get me wrong, brand new, beautiful Z06 2019 with 1,200 miles on it. But I mean, you take that huge hit on those kind of cars because we've got to buy it where it's worth it for somebody to maybe hopefully buy it, you know, over a brand new one, you know, because usually if you've got $98,000 to spend on a car, you're probably just going to go ahead and buy a new one instead of one that's got 1,200 miles on it. Because that's that break-in period, which you don't know what they did with it and all this kind of stuff. So that was tough. But anyway, so we do have a white red eye with red interior coming. So I will have a video on that very soon. I will turn on the bell the next time to alert. Yes. Yeah, just watch from the beginning, man. Yeah, throw on the bells. That way you get notifications for all the videos, and we can do this more often. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can back out. They sure can. You know, at our dealership, again, it's, you know, we're not really hoity-toity, and I think we took like $500 from the guy to order the car, and they gave us an allocation, so we did it. You know, everything seemed legit. You know, it wasn't just a kid, you know, it was an older gentleman. So I thought everything was going to be fine. Kind of looks bad on me a little bit because if that car does not sell, we have to pay interest on that car while it sits on the lot. And, you know, it's almost a $87,000 car or something like that. So hopefully we sell it quick. But yeah, I mean, you don't really have to buy a car when you order one. That's why some dealers take like non-refundable deposits. Well, all of our deposits are refundable. We're just not like that. So I think we had one other person try to say they wanted to order one or buy that, and we're like, okay, well, we're taking a $2,500 deposit this time, and it didn't go through. Well, he was getting double taxed though, so I wouldn't buy it either. Some will keep your deposit until it's sold. So that's something else that they could do. That's true. Lewis, dealership is Wells Motor Company, and it's in Avon Park, Florida. So we're Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram dealer. Actually, Edgar, I was going to do that. It's funny you say that because in appreciation for you guys, you know, keeping me going. And there was a couple people that donated. I wanted to give back a little bit. And this hat is pretty cool. And I think, where's the other side of it? It's got the little Dodge logo over there too. So that's cool. This is like my favorite hat that we've come out with. So hopefully we still have some of them. But yeah, I'll figure out a way to do some kind of, you know, raffle or something like that for you guys and get you some swag, because we usually have shirts and hats that come into the dealership, and I can get them pretty cheap. So, wow, I can't believe that you guys actually hung out with me for an hour. It's going to be 10:30. I definitely am going to have to finish it up here pretty soon. Did your Scat Pack come with stripes? No, it did not. Oh, excuse me. There's a funny story behind the stripes. Since for lack of time right now, I'll tell you to go back on my videos and watch the video of my Scat Pack, and I tell where I got the stripes, how I got the stripes, what I went through with the stripes. Long story short, I got them from a guy who I found on Facebook, and it took like 2 months to get them because he never got back to me, and we had a big ordeal, and it wasn't very fun. But once we got the stripes, we have a local guy that puts on pinstriping at our dealership. Old guy, he's been doing it forever. And he normally does pinstripes, but he used to do stripes back in the day. I said, well, can you do mine? And he did them for me. So I basically bought them from somebody on Facebook, sent me the kit, pre-cut and everything. And I had that guy apply them for me. And he did better than factory. You know, I've seen factory stripes, and they don't actually go all the way to the edges, nor are they like tucked into like the rubber seals. This dude like used little plastic knives and stuff and got into the seals. I mean, you could not see one edge of those stripes. I can only hope that the stuff that I do to my new car is going to come out as good as those stripes did. But yeah, anyway, appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me. And yeah, if you want to see the next stream, you know, put on the little bell, be sure to leave a like, comment. I'm gonna put my email one more time in there. If you guys got any questions, and of course, just give me, sometimes if the email takes a little bit, just give me a little bit. I am really busy during the day doing my actual job. And if I don't get to you within like 48 hours though, just shoot me another email. I'm not going to get bothered by it. Sometimes that email that I give you guys is my personal email. So I do have personal emails coming in there as well. So anyway, appreciate you guys. And I'll try to take a look at that right now for you, Jay, and respond to you. So anyway, you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you later.